Howdy guys, it's Joe here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys why some people might not like Mei. Now I know a lot of you guys have been waiting a few days for this one because it's a little bit extra spicy, but anyways, let's get started onto this and just talk about why some people may or may not dislike the character Mei and some of the things about her that might just be a little bit infuriating to the people playing as her and of course, especially the people playing against her. Now let me just start off with the most and basic obvious thing about Mei. That freeze mechanic is something to definitely hate Mei about. It's one of the only mechanics in the game that gives you a long-term ability that makes you can't move. Of course, Anna has a very similar thing with her sleep dart, but Mei has freeze, which of course can be used over and over again and really has no cooldown at all. All it is just shooting the enemy until they start to freeze, and then after that, she goes for a right click, it does a lot of damage, and even if she doesn't go for a right click, she can just freeze you and have her teammates attack you while that's going on. Overall, it's really infuriating. As well with that, the fact that it slows you as she's freezing you makes it even more annoying as you really can't get away way too often unless you have a lot of mobility. And yeah, that's one of the things that I feel like most people have a huge problem about the character with. Now, related to freeze, a problem that a lot of other people have is the fact that it's pretty hard to get close to her if her team's nearby at all. She can just freeze you and you pretty much just get whomped by any time you just try to go in when there's the Mei up. As well with this, when you're fighting Mei without her team being nearby or without your team being nearby, essentially a 1v1, it's also very hard to beat her without getting multiple headshots or a huge amount of burst off instantly. She just freezes you, does a ton of damage, gets those right clicks, and pops you in her head. And if she doesn't happen to actually get that freeze, and if you are actually winning the 1v1, well wait, she can press her shift and heal herself up for half her HP, or even more than half her HP. Right after that, go for an E, go for an ult, try to freeze you again. She really has all the options in the world. And what will most likely happen is that she'll have stalled for so much time that her teammates have come up and now you can't kill her anyways. There's a Reinhardt in front of her. This happens so many times, and no matter what the situation is, Mei just always seems to be slippery and happening to get out of that, even though she doesn't technically have any mobility of herself at all. It's not like Genji who can just shift away, but she still somehow gets out of so much stuff anyways. Next, a thing that I feel like is really kind of talked about a little bit less than the other stuff is the fact that she gets these really awkward one-shot murder kills from halfway across the map for like no reason. Her right click is essentially just a more often shot Hanzo right click that doesn't one-shot, but it still does an insanely high amount of damage, and these things can be popped off over and over and over again. If you get body shots, they charge your ultimate really quick, and if you happen to get headshots, well, if you get one or two of these in a row at essentially any range, you're gonna kill the enemy as long as they're a pretty squishy person, which just feels awkward. Whenever you die to one of these Mei right clicks, it feels like it just kind of happened. It feels like it's a Hanzo, but with even more spam. You know, Hanzo can shoot slowly, Mei can just spam these things out really fast, and especially the one shots, at the two shots, at the three shots, they're just really annoying and really hard to deal with as there's not really way too much counterplay. She's just guessing her projectiles really well. Now to another really annoying part about her is of course stalling on CP maps or just stalling on control point maps, assault maps, really whatever map. Jumping on the point as Mei, pressing that shift button and holding off for 4 or 5 seconds simply by just pressing a button. As well with that, after you're done with this, you can just press your E and stall for even more time if you're right next up to a wall. It's really hard to deal with this, and really the only way to deal with this is to wait for her to come outside the ability. Getting an extra 4 seconds can honestly win you control point super easily if you get a Mei out there, if you get a Tracer out there, you get a Diva out there, but especially having Mei first with essentially zero counterplay after she gets in that, oh yeah, it's something that can definitely kind of be a bit annoying about the character when you're trying to win a game, when you're so close to winning a game, and they just stall it again and again with that Mei, just jumping on the point. And I really can't wait until people can heal Mei with inner shift on that point. That'll make it even better for her to stall, so that'll be even more fun. But with all this said, let's not forget about one of the more annoying parts about her kit that's very hard to deal with in certain situations, especially if you don't have much mobility. Again, that seems to be the general thing with Mei. The fact that her E can just couch you out so stinking easily. If she's waiting around a corner, and if she's really timed out pretty well, she could put up that ice wall, and especially on maps like Hanamura, she can just split your team in two. And unless, again, your team has a lot of mobility, there's not much you can do. You can try to fight the fight, you can try to run away, you can try to kill the Mei, you can try to do whatever the heck you want to try to do. But often what ends up happening is they split off half your team, and they end up just killing you guys. Other than this as well though, she could just press out that E and stall for a good 3, 4, 5 seconds depending on how long it takes to come down. And just getting that free time, it's really something that's very hard to deal with when you're fighting this character. From here, I want to talk about her ultimate, and let's be honest, this is one of the most frustrating ultimates in her game. So let's say that you have Mei's left click. You know, it freezes people after a certain amount of time, but it can only target one person. What if they upgraded that so that it had a huge like 4 meter by 4 meter range, which can cover almost every single control point map completely, plus you threw it out almost instantaneously, plus you didn't make that much noise about it, plus it instantly slows you so it's super hard to get out of, plus it freezes you, lets people get headshots on you, and lets so that you can't actually do damage back, and it stops all your teammates healing if they're also in the zone. Let's say that's an ability. Well, yeah, it is, and as well with this, it charges really, really quickly. It's overall a very strong ult, and again, if they don't have much mobility to get out of this thing, they're pretty much screwed. Finally, I feel like one of the most annoying parts about Mei is just how inconsistent her damage is as a whole. If she doesn't get all the way through her freeze, she essentially does negative damage. But if she does get all the way through that freeze, she can get a free headshot and just pretty much 1 or 2 tap you and you're done for right away. Again, with this also, she can just get extremely high damage from far range, get headshots with her right click, and there's almost nothing you can do about that, but it's so inconsistent and it's so random if you're going to be getting those that it makes her always really kind of like an awkward pick if you're having her shoot at anyone except for the Roadhog, the Reinhardt, the Diva, or anyone like that that's just extremely easy to hit. Overall, it just feels very close to like you're playing a character with RNG at far range, and that's no fun to play as Mei or against Mei. But anyways, as always, that's just my own opinions of what I personally experienced, what I've heard a lot of online, at least complaints about the character online, and some of the stuff of just some of the main reasons why some people may not like the character. Now, as well with this and with every video, I do actually enjoy the character. She's really fun, really unique, but of course there are a few annoying parts about her kit that just did barely go over. Anyways, as always, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below why you like Mei or why you dislike Mei. As well with that, I will have a playlist right in the description, so if you want to check out why you hate any other character in the game, you can probably find them down there, so make sure to click on that if you want to, or it'll be on the card on the screen or on the end screen, so check any of those out. Anyways, with all that said, thank you guys for watching, subscribe if you want to see any more, and as always, have a wonderful day.